Hello, fellow music makers. Michael Oskam here from Write, Record, Mix. Hope you're doing well. Today we're going to do a relatively quick video, but one that I think you'll love and benefit from. Today I'm going to teach you how to use the multi-output instance of both EZdrummer and Superior Drummer. Stick around. Alright, thank you so much. Welcome back, everybody. We're going to have a pretty informative video today, if I do say so myself. I think you'll learn something and you might have just a little bit of fun doing it. I've been using EZdrummer, Superior Drummer, basically all Toontrack, Easy Bass products basically since they came out, which is a very long time ago. I don't know exactly how long, but it's definitely more than 10 years. And I remember being just new to recording, new to DAWs, new to everything, and found it very, very difficult to be able to instantiate the multi-out option and mix the drums independently as if they were recorded drum stems. And that's ultimately what a lot of people want to do. Now, for some people, the stereo instantiation of the plugin is fine. They like the built-in sounds. They like using the mixer that's kind of built into EZdrummer. I am not that way. So it's really beneficial to be able to know how to split those out into individual stems, balance them within Logic's mixer itself, add effects, that kind of stuff. So I'm going to show you how to do it. Let's dive in. We're in a brand new clean session here inside of Logic, as you can see, and we're just going to create one software instrument with EZdrummer 3, and we're going to hit create. There she is. If we go into the EZdrummer, the Toontrack folder, and we go to EZdrummer 3, you'll see that by default, because I picked it when creating the track, it defaulted to the stereo option. But you'll also notice a multi-output 16-channel stereo option. Oh, multi-output. So we're going to select that before we get going, just to make life easier on us. Now, it doesn't look any different. There's one thing that looks different, but I haven't shown you that. The plugin itself, nothing has changed. Okay, so here's what I typically do. Here's what most people typically do. They build out their arrangement. There's two ways you can do that. As you know, you can, let's use Country Grooves. Let's do an up-tempo straight 4/4. Whew, that snare's got a ring to it. Right? So what people will do is they'll build out their song. You can either drop it down here into the MIDI arrangement editor, but if you're like me and most people that I've encountered using this plugin, you can actually just drop the MIDI file onto the channel itself. This is how I prefer to work, but to each their own. There's no right or wrong way. I just find it easier to build out my arrangement this way. Doesn't change what happens with the plugin, except that if you have it in both places, it will play back the MIDI file twice and you'll get some sort of weird flamming. So if you're going to have it in your DAW like I have here, then you need to make sure you delete this one. So now if I hit play inside of Logic, there we go. All right, and I'm going to add a fill real quick to the end. I'm going to make this a 4-bar pattern. I need toms just for better understanding of how this works. So we'll add a tom fill at the end here. I will join these. And now I've got a little 4-bar loop. Rock and roll. And for a lot of people, that's wonderful. Especially if you're just writing demos or something and you're trying to get the idea out. That's perfect. But for those who are doing a full-on production and want ultimate control over the individual sounds, stay tuned, because that's what we're going to get into right now. Obviously then, your whole arrangement would be built out across your timeline. I only have 4 bars. Obviously the rest of your instrumentation would be there too. Synths, guitars, bass, whatever it may be. Vocals, obviously, if that's your thing. But none of that matters right now because, I'm just showing you the drums. So, you'll notice that the name changed to basic once I dropped the MIDI on there. And what we want to do now, and this is where the visual difference that I said, if we go into the mixer, you're going to see on the basic channel here, a plus and a minus, okay? And we're going to click plus about, well, it doesn't really matter. Click as many times as you want. I usually start with like 8 or 9. Let's do 8. 9, I mean. It's a little slow to react. So we're going to click the plus button and create a bunch of different aux channels. You'll notice something interesting happens here. If you look at the inputs of each channel, it says easy drummer 3/4, easy drummer 5/6, 7/8, 9/10, so on and so forth. That should be a clue as to how we're going to get this done. What I first like to do is I change this to kick, and you'll see why in just a minute. If my caps lock would work, that'd be great. There we go. I like caps lock. I'm going to change that to kick, and now you're going to understand why. If I open this up and I go to the mixer inside of Easy Drummer, it's the same for Superior Drummer, though there is a caveat to that. That's a longer video. Maybe I'll do that later. It's generally the same principle, though. You'll notice here at the bottom of the mixer, each channel has an output assigned to it. By default, they're all set to out 1 and 2. Hence, when I hit play, everything is coming out of Easy Drummer 1 and 2, which is this instantiation, this channel where it is instantiated. I like that word, instantiation. Makes you sound smarter than you are. But we can alter these outputs, right? So kick, I'm going to leave on 1, 2. That's why I renamed the channel in the Logic Mixer kick. Snare, I'm going to make that 3/4. Hat, 5/6. Toms, 7/8. Overheads, 9/10. And this is where it gets a little bit interesting. They have pre-mixed this kit for you inside of Easy Drummer. So it has an ambience mic or room mic, which is not an effect necessarily, but maybe it's a sound you want, maybe it's a sound you don't want. They've given you verb, compression, parallel compression, one-shot, shaker, tambourine, percussion, overhead. I don't think that this loop or arrangement has any of that in there, but if it does, just create enough auxiliary channels for that. If you want to provide your own reverb, your own parallel compression, all of that, then simply just mute these and don't route them out. So that's what I'm going to do. I don't want their verb, their compression. I don't have one-shots, shakers, tambos, and therefore don't need my percussion overhead. The ambience mic, we might as well. Let's make that 11 and 12. Then, for clarity's sake, I like to come down here and just rename these to whatever the output is assigned. So this is hats. What is this? 7/8 is toms. Overheads. We'll call this room mic. And that's it for now. Let me close this for a second. We have 4 auxes we haven't used, so we can simply click the minus button 4 times, and we're one step closer. Perfect. Now what I like to do is select all of them, right-click here, and do Create Track. And now we're going to have a visual representation up here in the Edit window. Notice that appeared there. We have our kick, snare, hats, toms, overheads, and room microphone. So we're getting closer. Now, I also like to create a track stack for these because I am a top-down mixer at heart. I should get a shirt that says top-down mixer at heart. That's cute. So I'm going to select all, right-click, create track stack. It's going to be a summing stack. And now I have a bus that all of these are running through. I'm going to call this drum sub or whatever you want to call it. And now you'll notice everything is running through this. If I were to mute it, we won't hear anything. Right? And for proof of concept, just solo them out. We have the kick, snare, hats, there are toms, overheads, room mic. I do like to come in here and you see they've kind of balanced it out. They have my hat mic down 20 decibels. Let's just option click these, all of them, because I'm going to balance them myself. Okay, now this might sound a little wonky. I actually think it sounds better. They had that hat turned way down. Okay, now we're basically there. Now I can come in here and I can adjust the levels. If I want my kick to be brought down, I can bring it down. If I want more room sound, turn up the room mic, whatever. I can make it sound the way that I want. I have individualistic control over all the different elements of the drum kit. As I had mentioned, if you wanted to add your own reverb, you can. Let's say we come up here, we create a new, actually let's not do it that way. Let's just go into our bus menu. I'm going to select all. I'm going to create a bus. Let's say bus 2. And we've created a new aux. I will call this drum. Actually, let's just call this deverb. You'll notice that its input is bus 2. We can simply put reverb on here. And let's use something nowish, and let's make it a smooth room. Maybe we just want a room, not that long, maybe roughly 2-second room. Mix 100%. I typically like to roll off some lows and highs. Again, that's not the point of this video. We're just doing this quick and dirty. Now, I can dial in how much room verb I want on each individual instrument. Probably sounds terrible, not the point. You get the idea. And that's really it. Now, you can take it a step further. And some people like to do this. They say, that's great and all, but I don't have any sort of visual cues here as to what's going on. Fair enough. There's no audio. I got you. I got you covered. It's just going to take some additional steps. If you'd like to manipulate audio waveforms instead of MIDI, here's how you do it. We have what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 MIDI or aux tracks, right? 6 channels that we got to worry about. So what we're going to do is we're going to create new tracks. We'll do audio, and we're going to say, let's just change it to no input for now. And we're going to say 6. And we'll just call these the same thing. Kick. We'll add an S to make it so they're not duplicates. Lose the S there. Lose the S there. Lose the S there. And room mics. Okay, cool. Now we're going to go into our mixer. We're going to create your inputs first. There's a reason that you do it in this order. Trust me. So we'll start with kicks. We're going to set the kick input to be bus 3. And 4, and we'll just kind of go down the row here. 5, 6, 7, 8. Do it this way. Do not do it in the reverse order. Then we're going to go into our aux channels here, and we're going to set their outputs to the corresponding input. So we have kick. Kick is bus 3. Then see, it says kicks, makes life easy for everybody. Now we come in here to this one. This is going to be snares, bus 4. This is going to be hats. This is going to be toms. Bus 7, overheads. Bus 8, room mics. Cool? Makes sense? So kick is being routed to the kick audio channel. So what we do is we select all the audio channels we created, set them to input, and record. And now, it's just a matter of recording. Start at the top, hit R. Let it ring out. And there we go. We can take these out. Obviously, you would do it for your entire, the length of your entire session. And now, we can come in here to these, and we can say bye-bye. We can just, I don't suggest deleting them. Can if you want to. I don't. I usually just hide them because if I need to come back, if I change my mind, change the arrangement, anything like that later on, it's just much easier to do it that way. You'll notice then that we just have to select these, drop them on top of the folder like that, and now they collapse. We just got to make sure the routing is right. It is. Bus 1. Everything now, all the audio we just recorded is coming through our drum bus. Oh, I made a boo-boo. When you hide your tracks, make sure you've turned off your sends, or you're going to still hear them. Now, you'll hear a dry, right? Proof of concept, snare, hat, right? Kick. There we go. And of course, we still have our drum verb up. If we wanted to add that, we can. We can just come in here and select all and create the send to bus 2. And just like before, we can dial in some reverb that we want. And that's it. That is how you can turn everything into its own individual audio track, just as if a real drummer recorded everything. Gives you full control over all the individual instruments within the drum kit, and you can be as creative as you could possibly ever want to be. Again, I mentioned the same thing works in Superior Drummer. There's just a little bit. I'm going to have to do a video because it is very similar, but Superior Drummer's mixer has built-in bus routing that you're going to have to contend with. It's not complicated, but if you don't understand it, you may get a little bit lost. So, if you'd like to see a Superior Drummer video or version of this video, give me a like, maybe drop me a comment, say, hey, that's something I'd want to see. I'll happily put out that video as soon as I can, but got to have some people who want it, right? So thank you so much for stopping by at Right Record Mix. Again, my name is Michael. Hopefully this video helped you out. Until next time, keep creating, keep producing, keep writing, stay creative. Take care.